A very good morning to all of you. Welcome to the Innovation Discovery with Japan event co-organized by Sunway iLabs and JETRO Kuala Lumpur. My name is Eleanor Chung, Head of iLabs Ventures at Sunway iLabs, and I will be your host for the event. It's not every day that we have the privilege to host an event which highlights the cross-border innovations and partnerships between two countries. And today we are so excited that we have speakers dialing in from two different time zones. So today we will be introducing to you five amazing Japanese startups that will be pitching their technology, innovations, and solutions to seek for local partners in Malaysia and in the region. At Sunway iLabs, we strongly believe that innovation is driven largely by collaboration, understanding each other's strengths and weaknesses, areas to complement, leveraging on each other's resources to achieve common goals. I do encourage everyone here in the audience today to adopt an open mindset as we see many potential opportunities for you to find synergies with the companies who will be presenting today. So just some quick tips and notes before we get started. For best viewing options, you may notice that there's a view button on the top right corner of your screen. You can click on speaker view. We would love to also get to know you. So if you could kindly rename yourself with your company in bracket behind your own name. All mics and cameras will be turned off automatically, except for those who will be presenting. Questions and comments extremely welcome. You will find my name in the chat section. So please do write to me and I will try my best to post your questions during the Q&A session later. All right, so to start us off, I'd like to invite Ms. Mai Onozawa-san, Managing Director of JETRO Kuala Lumpur, to address us with a few words.
Thank you, Eleanor-san. Hello, everyone. Do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you, Eleanor-san. Hello, everyone. I'm Mai Onozawa of JETRO Kuala Lumpur. Thank you very much for your participation in the Innovation Discovery Japan today. I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to Sunway iLabs, Matt-san, Eleanor-san, and your colleagues for all of your huge cooperation to this program since 2 years ago. I also would like to thank you, all the speakers, for your participation in this program and active preparation for today's pitch. In recent years, JETRO have been focusing on supporting the collaboration among talented startups and big companies of both Malaysia and Japan through digital technology. In 2019, we have launched acceleration program in cooperation with Sunway iLab to support Japanese companies finding their partners and expanding their businesses in Malaysia. Today's pitch event is one of our second acceleration programs starting this January to stimulate the relationship between Malaysian and Japanese companies. 5 promising companies will make the pitch today, as Eleanor-san said, based on Sunway iLab's great support. I hope today's event will create many business tie-ups between Malaysia and Japan in the future. Taking this opportunity, allow me to introduce the latest activities of JETRO. We have launched a new online platform, so-called JBridge, in this February to promote business alliances between Japanese and overseas companies. We support collaborations using digital technologies, mainly in the 6 fields, such as carbon neutral, healthcare, and agriculture. We would like to create new business solutions under such collaborations to solve increasing social issues in ASEAN and Japan. Our JBridge will provide you several business services, such as networking opportunities, company introduction to the members, exclusive business talks with the members, and the business development. In this platform, it is possible for you to send a message directly each other for exploring future business matching. We will start the registration from this April. So if you are interested in joining this program, please contact JETRO KL. Finally, this is our members of the X team in JETRO KL. So feel free to contact us if you have any question or request. Again, I hope today's event will become valuable opportunity for business partnership between Malaysian and Japanese DX companies in the future. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you, Eno-san. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Mai-san. Next, we have our own Matt Van Leeuwen, Chief Innovation Officer of Sunway Group and Director of Sunway iLabs, for his welcoming address.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Let me share my screen. Hope you can see this okay. Yeah, so thanks, Eleanor, for the introduction, and thanks, Onazawa-san. You know, you've already sort of introduced the program, so it takes away some of my job. But yeah, I mean, let me just maybe take a step back on how we got it started. Because, I mean, I think we've made a lot of progress over the last 2 years since we actually started talking to JETRO. And, you know, we always talk about sort of the glamorous part of building partnerships between startups and conglomerates and corporates. And what we know is that it's not always that glamorous. As a matter of fact, it's very challenging. You know, you need to go through a lot of cultural barriers. You need to be on the same page when it comes to setting milestones, allocating funding and resources, and so on. And so it's like building a relationship with someone, right? It doesn't always start well, or it doesn't always end well for someone. Now, when you want to make it even more difficult, you start building international partnerships, right? It's a bit like a long distance relationship, and you really need to start allocating more time in terms of travel to make a relationship like that work. And then, you know, a pandemic happened last year, and I think we are now 1 year, we celebrated 1 year of lockdown here in Malaysia. And that is like, you know, having a long distance relationship, and at the same time, your father-in-law doesn't really like you, right? Doesn't really allow you to come into the house. So what are you gonna do? But we're actually very, very happy and very humbled by the presence and the collaborations with JETRO. And we are very impressed with the vision and the leadership that they have taken for the last 2 years to make this partnership work. And it really started from a very simple understanding that, you know, taking startups into another country and doing a pitch event doesn't work. It's like a nice holiday, right? A summer holiday. You have fun during your holiday, you pitch, you know, you have a nice lunch, but when you go back on the plane and you arrive back in your own country, it's kind of going back to work, right? And people come to the realization that these relationships, these collaborations just don't work. And so we set a structure in this program, right? And we said like, well, what if we get these Japanese companies from JETRO that were carefully selected and curated, and we introduce them to the Malaysian ecosystem. And we wanted sort of to create this as a launch pad into Southeast Asia. And what we did is we didn't just do pitch events, but we really started to set up partnership meetings, right? Partnerships or collaborations with people with the business units in Sunway Group, but also collaborations with the whole wider ecosystem here in Malaysia, partners like MDAC and others. And here you can see some of the elements that we provided as part of the program, right? They got access to our university talents, corporate support that we provide, our venture capital sites, but most importantly, the test beds that we've built here in Sunway that allows these startups to experiment with their technology, with their innovations, and further succeed. And we're very glad to see that in the first batch, we had 5 startups, but we started in 2019, but it finished in 2020 during the pandemic. And 2 of the 5 startups have set up an office here in Sunway, and we are running very good pilots with these companies right now. So these 2 companies are Smart Drive and Alm. And this year, you know, we're very happy to see 5 very exciting startups, and some of them are already scale-ups, right? They're not really at the early stage anymore. And today, of course, we're going to hear from them. But what I can say for now is that within the 2 months, like a shorter time span that we had in the last program, we've actually managed to set up some very interesting collaborations and discussions that are happening within our own business units, right? And we really look forward to collaborate further with JETRO to make those pilots successful. And one thing that JETRO gets right, I mean, I really must say that, I congratulate them again, is they don't just see this as one program. They really see this as an end-to-end to facilitate building successful partnerships, right? So even beyond this program, they have set aside a grant for the companies, for the Japanese companies, of up to 200,000 US dollars to actually start doing pilots here in Southeast Asia with any of the ASEAN members. And so for the startups pitching today, I really encourage you to apply for this. And yeah, I mean, I'll stop here. We look forward to see the presentations and to build some more successful partnerships here again. Finally, before I finish, just want to thank Eleanor for her leadership to organize this program together with all the members here in JETRO Kuala Lumpur and the JETRO HQ, and also my team, Karen, Tila, who have been very instrumental in mentoring some of these startups. So over to you, Eleanor.
Thank you, Matt. So I hope everyone here in the audience is just getting warmed up. And I'd like now to shine the spotlight on our 5 Japanese startups, all of whom, again, we've had the amazing opportunity to get to know and work closely with over the last few months. So please join me to welcome our first company today, FunLead, an ICT solution provider with advanced remote sensing applications utilizing SLAM and hyperspectral technologies, which opens up exciting potential possibilities for agri-food tech businesses, such as smart urban farming yield prediction and inspection methods for food industries utilizing machine vision solutions. So I'd like to welcome Mr. Koichi Kishi-san, Senior Manager ICT Solution of FunLead, to present to us.
All right, good morning, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yep, all good. If you could just start from your slides and put it full screen. Yep, thank you.
So again, good morning, everybody. My name is Koichi Kishi from FunLead Corporation, a member of the Tire Holding Groups. FunLead is the ICT solution provider, and we have the 5 business domains shown here. I'm mainly in charge with the space utilization business. Our future vision is illustrated in this slide. We'd like to integrate satellite data, drone remote sensing data, IoT data, and statistical data to AI to create new value in various fields. And today, I'm mainly focusing on the drone remote sensing data services. As a first step, we successfully conducted the Michibiki demonstration project last year in Malaysia, Sarawak, with an eye toward getting agri and food tech business started in Malaysia. In terms of agri-food tech, we have 2 main key features. The one is so-called the SLAM, simultaneous localization and mapping technologies, to make drone platform achieve 10 centimeter or accuracy of positioning, even in the case that the GPS or Michibiki or other satellite navigation system is not available. And one of the derivative application of this technology is the deep learning-based tree count solution. The other one is the compact, lightweight, and affordable hyperspectral sensor and the value-added processing technologies broadly applicable to agri-food tech fields. I'd like to using this opportunity to find potential customers and investors who could provide chances for conducting POC to put those 2 key features into the practical use in agri-tech field. As widely recognized, agri-tech field requires persistent in-situ data collection, and our solution in domestic Japan could not apply instantaneously in Malaysia, we understand. So that's why we'd like to start from the POC stage in this country. Regarding food tech, we'd like to find prospective R&D partner in industries, academia, and governmental institute in this field. Because food tech field, we have the similar demonstrated project, but for food tech itself, it's a really challenge for us. So we'd like to start from the R&D phases. And why the agri-food tech? We understand that Malaysia is generally a food secure nation, however, facing still threat toward the food security. As you know, the self-sufficiency ratio in Malaysia 2019 indicate your country has yet been self-sufficient in some staple food. And this is the same challenges Japan is facing also. So that's why we'd like to our DX technologies to apply this field and make a tangible contribution to agri-tech and food tech in Malaysia. So from now, I show you some examples of our agri-tech and food tech field solutions. And the agri-tech field, we are now challenging the drone mountable hyperspectral imager to get the early detection of disease plan or the precise management of the planting cultivation. And also we could apply the detection of the suitable cultivation area. And also our lightweight hypersensor is also suitable for the urban farming, we believe. And this is the example of the SLAM application trial applying to the palm estate tree count. And our deep learning-based solutions get an accuracy of the 97% in this trial. And also, as you've seen in the last year our trial, we are challenging to tackle the Ganoderma disease in oil palm. Ganoderma is the very fatal disease and the most serious disease of the palm oil industries, as you know. And so tackling this disease, various R&D proved hyperspectral observation to contribute for the early detection of this disease. And currently the airborne observation is going on. But airborne observation is very expensive and not agile. So we try to make affordable drone mountable hyperspectral sensor observation schemes. And this is the our Japanese farming field trial results. You see the just conventional RGB camera images, and it's very difficult to identify the agrotype and obtain the detailed crop map. However, applying the hyperspectral imaging, we could see the more detailed each crops, and it's better for the proper management of the field. We assume our business model for agri-tech is, when it comes to the drone observation services, we like to thinking about the charge different rates for the various level of the service per unit area, like a hyperspectral application or the SLAM application. like a tree counting. And when it comes to the urban farming, there is a fixed point observation. We are thinking about this subscription type billing. First, initial fee for fitting and customization prior to start of the subscription services. And in food tech field, the hyperspace sensing makes it a powerful tool for safety and security of the food, such as the inspection of the food or the inspection of the food packaging, and also the discovery of the fraudulent products. This is one use cases applied for the contamination inspection in almond factory. And the introducing this hyperspectral sensing, the whole process achieved the 40% labor saving. And also this is the overview of the each platforms, and we envisage this kind of urban green space vegetation solutions in the future. Currently, this is done by the airborne observation, but we'd like to make it possible using the drone applications. Okay, thank you very much for hearing. And this is the my point of contact, the address, email. So please contact us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kishi-san, for your presentation. So now, just for our audience information, we will have a Q&A, short Q&A session with each of the companies. So if you would like to pose to them a question as well, please feel free to direct them to me in the chat section, and I will share them on behalf. So we have some questions coming in, audience who are very interested to understand more about your drone sensing technologies.
Okay.
In the event, we see like bad weather or even strong winds. Will your technology still be, be able to use even in such conditions, and how? If you could just share with us.
Okay. As you pointed out, the drone is very, let's say, vulnerable under the heavy winds, and I understand currently the most durable drone to fly up to the 12 meters per second winds. So under that strong wind, maybe our sensing solution work. However, if we could not fly the drones, it's very difficult. So I believe the drone technology these days is going very rapidly. So maybe we hope some drone specialists produce the very resilient drone even in the weathers or the strong winds.
I see. Okay. I think some of this question may be from some of our colleagues here at Sunway. So some of them have shared that they are keen to potentially explore a collaboration to jointly develop the smart cities and green mobility space. Obviously, environment, having more trees is a really important factor even as we measure sustainability. What would be some of your solutions that you can provide to them in this space?
Okay, so as I briefly mentioned about, may I share my slide again?
Yes, sure.
Sorry, here. So so this is some Japanese construction company at Oijan using the aircraft. So our idea is changing the platform from aircraft to the very agile drone. So the technology itself creating this kind of the three-dimensional model or the analysis of the green coverage ratio using the hyperstructure sensor. I think that's very promising, and we've already demonstrated this kind of the technology. So the challenge is the get the actual data using the drone. So if we have a chance to do this some demonstration project or the POC type work, maybe we can achieve the same results aircraft had already done.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, which probably leads to the next question. If a business is interested to do a POC with you using your hyperspectral technologies or to analyze, plant health, plant quantities, plant varieties, for example, if they want to do a POC with you, do they have to pay for the hardware?
So as I mentioned, our business model is aiming for the subscription type. So in the actual service after the service started, we don't need to any hardware cost. But at the start time, maybe we need to some fitting or the customization, something like that. So that's not the hardware cost, but we need to some those kind of fitting or customization cost.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. I think that's all the questions that we have. Thank you once again, Kishi-san, for your presentation and also joining us for the Q&A. All right. Next, we have Synspective, a startup that provides one-stop solutions using geospatial data from its own SAR satellites upon its mission to create a progressive world based on real data. The core technology was developed by the Impact Program led by the Cabinet Office, Government of Japan. Synspective is building a constellation of its own SAR satellites in space and to provide its data and analytic information to both governments and commercial outfits. To present to us about Synspective solutions, we have Shoji Koike-san, Head of Global Sales, to share with us. Koike-san, the spotlight is yours.
Thanks, Eleanor. I think you can see me.
Yep.
If you can hear me, let me know.
All good.
Thank you, Sunway iLabs and JETRO for putting this all together for us. Matt was telling us about this 1 year of COVID to be something like a long distance relationship. I've been there and done it, but also I really do miss Malaysia. And that's because I used to live in Kuala Lumpur when I was a teenager. And that's this little charming boy. That's me about 30 years ago. Picture was taken at the foot of Mount Kota Kinabalu. And I just love the nature there. And you always have great people and great food, great culture. And all the while I've been, Malaysia has always been part of me, even though I lived there only for 2 years. This picture on your right was taken about 3 years ago. I went back probably on the same spot where the previous picture was taken 30 years ago. I got really emotional then. All the while I've always been thinking about how I could sort of contribute back to the country, my second home country. And that's how I'm feeling at the moment. Before I start, let me share you a story. There was a professor by the name Shirasaka at Keio University of Japan. Back in year 2015, he was running this program, a national R&D program called Impact. And there he was doing a research around SAR, which stands for Synthetic Aperture Radar. SAR radar is a technology by making use of a radar initially invented and developed by the British during World War II. And it was done in secrecy and used to cost lots and lots of money. And so it was not really available for the private sectors. And it was used to sort of detect the enemies coming to your right, to your way, over the horizon. So just in the last 5 to 10 years, it has started to become accessible because of, thanks to all this research. And Dr. Shirasaka is a kind of a guy who would work day at night, and his mission was to make this affordable, compact, and lightweight. His first name, Seiko, just like a Japanese watchmaker, means success or to succeed. And sure enough, he was successful making this affordable. Because he was a public, he was paid by the public tax, he felt he needed to contribute back to society. And that's when he met Moto. And Moto is the business consultant roaming around all the places in Africa, South Asia, picking up the technology and innovation and leverage it to make a better impact to societies. So there's a lot of sustainable development goals elements that he's always been passionate about. And he knew from his own experience, it's all about data that actually makes impact and make the businesses successful. So the duo got together in 2018. They managed to found a company, Sinspective. We're headquartered in Tokyo. We have a subsidiary in Singapore, not yet in Malaysia, unfortunately, but on the way, hopefully. The company grew from a team of 20, 60, and now we're up to 100, represented by 18 different nationalities, including one Malay colleague. 2019, we managed to raise $100 million of an investment, but year 2020 even was a bigger milestone. We released 2 commercial services solutions to market, and I joined Sinspective. So this is how the SAR radar looks like. It penetrates through the clouds, and you don't have to have the daylight, the sunlight, to be able to take a picture. You obviously don't need anything on the ground, and it just captures data on the Earth's surface. So what it does is it transmits the microwave to the object, to the Earth, and then it receives back, just like the dolphins or the whales or the owls would do this. And the signals coming back to the satellite gets analyzed and then put it in a mapping format. Our satellite is called Strix. We managed to launch our first one back in December, only 4 months ago. And we have a plan of launching the second one later this year. We should have up to 6 to be able to do daily monitoring around the world, and up to by 2023, and up to 30 to do constant monitoring to 30 around the world by 2025 or 26 and beyond. And if I may stress, your takeaway for today is this technology called InSAR. And why does this radar satellite means anything to you? Here's the grip. So as I said, it transmits the microwave and it receives back. So you know what the distance is on that first round. When the satellite comes around to the same spot, it does the same thing, but this time you may receive the signals from a slightly different location. So this difference of a distance are measured, and as a displacement, it recognizes that subtle difference. And this is the key to understand the nature of the soil or ground or infrastructure that surrounds you. And as a global citizen, that might mean something very, very significantly important. We use that same exact technology to create a solution called land displacement monitoring. So the satellite takes the image of the Earth, analyze it, and put it in a user-friendly dashboard, which I'm going to show you in a minute. And by having and analyzing through the 4 axes, descending data, ascending data for two different angles, satellite is capturing data. And you compute both data to provide the vertical and the horizontal data of the location. So even though it's not actually taking a picture vertically or horizontally, it computes and gets that deformation patterns and trends of the land or the infrastructure and put it on a time sequence format. This is the dashboard, which gives you the summary of your AOI or area of interest. It gives you the severity levels colored by differently, and we'll have also the different mode of capturing, as I explained earlier. And by clicking your AOI, it takes you straight to the location on a map. And all these little sweet points are the areas that the radar managed to pick up as a back returning echo. And you can have it on a night mode, satellite mode, or the street mode. And you see this all on a chronological order. And the data, you can go back as far as 2017, and you can toggle the time to have a narrower time scale for your better analysis and a focus. And the rate breakdown will give you in a monthly average. You can download this data as well. And sure enough, this particular location that I'm showing in the demo right now came from the second largest city in Indonesia, Surabaya, and it has detected this incident of a big sinkhole, middle of the road, 40-meter wide and 15-meter deep. So there was a big dip 2-3 months prior to the event. This is back in December or so, 2018. So it is something, even though this solution is aimed at B2B, it is something very relevant for you as a global citizen. So, you don't want this happening in your backyard, obviously. But it is true in places like even in Tokyo, where I am, or Sydney, where the tunneling, works has been going on. We are seeing lots of displacement, earth subsidence taking place all the time. So it has become a social problem. How good is it if you already have got some sort of sensor? So you might be using drones. If you have drones from funding, please do keep that and keep your practice, because that does the job. But if you cannot reach the area, what if you don't have a historical data from years ago that you still want, and you don't know where to start your survey? So, LDM has got you covered. You don't need to get there. You don't need to deploy anything. And you can actually save costs by not actually deploying anything or anybody to the site. Sinkhole, as I told you, has become a huge problem. Since Becker managed to have a patent pending for this, it managed to detect some of the forces coming together from east to west. And we have done a lot of machine learning and powered by AI to understand where it might appear, and we'll be able to predict and warn the users. So we have other solutions apart from LDM, and I'm gonna just share with you last 3 screens. One is the flat damage assessment. It also uses the SAR radar, and it again, you can go backdate it to 2017, and what it does is it picks up the inundation levels by centimeters, and you can pick up by the area, by the streets, or by the buildings, how much of a flood effect it has impacted. So this is very critical for urban planners who needs to understand in a much longer term how vulnerable is it to the natural disasters, or for the non-life insurance companies to understand how much of an insurance can you actually provide those who might be operating in these areas. Next, facility and port monitoring. Again, with a radar technology, it can detect the cars, ships, containers parked around ports or facilities. And by understanding, giving the AI mechanism to get live patterns, and whenever you detect anomaly coming in from any of these objects, it can flag as a warning and display on your user-friendly dashboard. By the way, these are all SaaS, as in software as a service that you can subscribe on a monthly basis. Lastly, a global geospatial index includes indexes such as night light, urbanization, planet, surface temperature. This is aimed at more for B2C. We're going to be rolling this out in the next couple of months or next month. So we've been developing all sort of solutions, and in the future we don't know what sort of solutions we might be developing, because we're really listening to the market and trying to fulfill the requirements. So it is important for us to understand what you want, what you like to see. So if you liked any of the contents that you've just listened and seen, please drop me or my team an email, and really appreciate your time today. Terima kasih banyak.
Thank you so much, Koike-san, for your very amazing storytelling presentation. So let's move on to the Q&A. So some of our audience here are obviously hearing this for the first time. Very fascinating. But how receptive and familiar do you think are Malaysians or even similar other ASEAN companies to your solutions, given that it's still quite advanced?
Thanks for the question. Satellite has always been sort of something out of the ordinary for the likes of you and me who don't think satellite. But space industry is really coming closer and is trying to become an everyday life commodity nowadays. Now we're trying to sell data here, even though we do manufacture on satellite and create data. It is the SaaS solution that we were trying to provide here. And how receptive is it among ASEAN and including Malaysia? For me, I think the industry is just starting to accept and adopt sensors on the ground or the drones to do the surveys, but it actually does a very similar thing. And urbanization, we have more population in urban areas than elsewhere, and it's becoming more so for next decades. And there's been a huge emphasis around BIM, the building information modeling. You do, lots of people talking about smart cities, and there's a hype around digital twins. So huge emphasis around how can you make the city life living sustainable and safe. We do all sorts of 3D modeling. Now we're doing it already, and I think land subsidence has a huge big problem. It poses a huge risk for all of us. So I think we're in a right direction, and I hope this seminar will sort of give you it makes you feel more comfortable about the satellite technology, if that answers the question.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, would you be able to share with us some case studies or any POCs that you're currently exploring with companies here in Southeast Asia?
Yeah, so a lot of Japanese construction companies already adopted the technology. They are deploying a lot of POCs, proof of concept, around the region, even in Malaysia, actually. And government of Singapore, Singapore Land Authority, have come and acknowledged our solution and accepted. And so, yeah, slowly but gradually, our technology have been adopted.
You mentioned that your solution is very much SaaS-based, right? People obviously don't have to pay anything to do with the satellites, but with the data and analysis itself. So how easy would you say, who would be the main user of your dashboard, in the company, and how user-friendly it is for someone to just pick it up?
All right, so it is aimed at B2C, B2B, but it's very relevant for any urban planners, property developers, those who look after utilities, for example, and anyone whose property, the land's stability is important. So, and those in finance who are needing to understand the longevity of that property. how sustainable is it? You can make use of. And in a form of SaaS, we do have a user manual, but who wants to read the manuals? And it's pretty user friendly. I've used it, and it's easily comprehensive.
All right, and maybe we have just one last question. Are you open for co-development to develop more use cases for Malaysia?
Yeah, well, I would, the reason why I'm here to run this pitch is because I want to be able to, without me physically being out there, lab to have some sort of channel to be able to provide and promote our service to your community. And we'll be happy to talk to you, listening to from your market, what sort of potential there might be. So yes, totally open and welcome those talks.
Okay, yeah. I mean, so thank you so much for the questions that have been coming in. Again, we'll be more than happy to connect you with, Koike-san or any of the other companies presenting here today. I will leave you my email address right at the end of the event. You may email me and we will do our best ASAP to make that introduction. All right, so thank you so much, Koike-san.
Thank you.
Okay, so next up we've got another company, very different solution. So we have the company's name is Toy8, and as their name implies, they are an AI-backed, customized online learning startup targeting 3 to 12-year-old age groups. Their education toy solutions help to visualize children's talent to maximize their growth and learning potential, which they plan to launch both here in Malaysia and scale to impact many more Southeast Asian markets in the future. So here with us today, we have founder and CEO of Toy8, Masaki Ishibashi-san, to introduce to us his company.
Thank you, Elno. Okay, I'm gonna set my timer for 10 minutes. Hello, everyone. Toy8 is an AI-backed customized online learning startup from Japan with 3 founders. And all the 3 of us are parents of young children. So with no doubt, we dare to hope our children's life was full of happiness. This is the beginning of the journey of Toy8. Now, can you imagine, or anyone here, can you please tell me what could be attractive jobs in 2014? Our children will get their job 20 years later from now. Today, Facebook and Google alone, which were not existing 20 years ago, there is over 150,000 jobs by them, created by them. The matter of fact is, in 2014, most of our children will be working on jobs not existing today. So how can I tell my daughters? I got 2 daughters. How can I tell my daughters, study hard on which area if their future is not predictable? What is the goal for our children? So let's learn from people who created the job. It was not existing 20 years ago. They are all lifetime learners with curiosity-driven minds. Steve Jobs said, many don't know how play can enhance learning. No, I didn't know, because my teacher told me completely other way around. Don't play. So let's get our kids to find out their strengths while they are playing for the first step for them to become lifetime learners. Based on multiple intelligence theory from Harvard University, we will focus only on the bright side of each child as a uniqueness. This is our product, Gifted Intelligence Finding Technology, or GIFT, to identify uniqueness of our child. Here, are the example of two individuals. Eve, on your left side of the screen, after analyzed by multiple intelligence, she would perform well at group activities. Philip can contemplate alone in quiet environment. So Philip might not active in the group, but it doesn't mean he doesn't like the subject. Multiple intelligence will give you as a E for the body smart and people smart, which means that she is very good to mingle around with friends. If you impose learning and play on children without the knowledge of their interests and strengths, there is a risk that they will grow to be passive learners. That's completely opposite of the lifetime learner, because the lifetime learner is a self-driven. That's we believe. And 0 to 6 years old is the golden age to find your child's strength, simply because they start showing interest on what they like. 265 billion US dollar is the total private education market in ASEAN. We aim to capture 35% of capital city market of Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, and Vietnam in 5 years. And we offer playground that's designed to enhance talent. And this accelerator program by Sunway and JETRO gave us big progress of successful launch of our online product here in Malaysia. So let's take a look. Let me brief you the products available now in Malaysia. This is our website. We have a free online consultation button here. So before purchase, that you can ask anything related with our product. And we will select the toy. The first step that you will do is we will give you a questionnaire, and we will conduct the interview session to ask you more about your children. And after getting all of these questionnaire interview sessions, that this is one of the sample of the later job where you can see what is the strengths of your children. This is the first of our package. And the second, based on the analysis, we will provide a activity and toys to enhance your children's talent. And the third, if you have any concerns on your child's development, all you need to do is just give us a WhatsApp chat so that it's available. We can reach all of the specialists in Malaysia and Japan to give you some advice. And finally, that we will give, once you send us the images or the video of your progress, how to play with our toys, then again that we're gonna give the advice from the specialist, and keep all these comments and the picture as a development diary. So this is all of the package here. In Toy 8, we have team of specialists consist of educators, researchers, psychologists, and the practitioners from Japan and Malaysia. So what we're gonna do is the analyzing talent and development and providing activity and the toy to enhance the talent. It's all about data-driven enhancement cycle. Here, the last but not least, another, thanks to a Sunway and the JETRO mentoring team, another big insight from them, we are currently working on with a preschool that while we are providing a gift system and a talent analytic report to them, and we will utilize the child care center to, that the parent children can play with the toys that we will send. So these sort of the collaboration, we'd like to explore further to develop business with kindergarten and the child care center for our children's better future. So let's uncover inherent talent and the uniqueness of children around the world. Future Thomas Edison, Lady Gaga, Steve Jobs, Marissa Mayer, Michael Jordan are in our classroom now. So find out their uniqueness from early as possible and provide the optimized play and the learning to be lifetime learners. Thank you so much. This is the end of my presentation. My name is Masaki. I'm based in Kuala Lumpur. So drop me an email. This is my email, i.masaki@toyet.com. I've done my part. Thank you.
Thank you, Mazaki-san. Yeah, I'm very excited. I look forward. So I'm one of them that signed up to
Thank
the
you so
toy.
much.
Yeah, and I'll be doing a quick interview, I think, with your team this Friday. So I'm looking forward to it. So we've got some questions from our audience, and they're asking, why did you choose Malaysia as your preferred destination to roll out your toy education solution? And maybe to follow on, how would you see Malaysia in comparison to other Southeast Asian countries in terms of product readiness, customers accepting of your education product?
Well, it's a very good question. Thank you so much. We enter the market in different way based on either the opportunity or nature of the market itself. This is a big step to tap into the Southeast Asia region. We aim to tap up, as I said in the presentation, that we aim to tap up each capital city of countries in ASEAN. Then the market size, income level, and the language perspective in English, KL, Kuala Lumpur is pretty much attractive to begin with. I believe that in Japan, the fundamentally very strong in early education and the child development. I mean, for the higher education, of course, the US and the UK, other countries in advance, but fundamentally in Japan, it's the early education system and the child development system is very going to the detail, systematic. And we found out some development assessments that the City Hall of Japan offered by free of charge. For example, I got a daughter, my daughter grew up in the 6 months, the period of time, 6 months, 1 year, 3 years old, that we just develop at the City Hall. City Hall, they have the specialists and they give us the analysis of how our children, the development is relatively good, or to some part is slightly we have to be more careful with, and those sort of the analysis is available in Japan free of charge, which I don't see it in Malaysia. So we hope to contribute to our society by implementing those if we can. And obviously that we grow our arm from Malaysia to the ASEAN region. That is our aim.
Okay, so I mean, currently in Japan, for the young kindergarten schools, are your products currently being used there?
No, actually, that we have the Japan, we have in the holding company, but everything that our CTO is the American Indian, that he is the head of the researcher of the MIT. So from the beginning, that our product is all English based. So we started our business over in Southeast Asia.
Oh, I see. Okay, interesting. A very global company in that sense, and so obviously you would have a lot of wide data, right? Not just data that you've gathered from a specific market. So maybe you can share with us. You mentioned being able to identify skills, amongst children. So, what are some of the key children's characteristics or skills which you measure using your toys?
Okay. Let's say that we give Lego like a block for kids to play. And some of the kids will pay attention to a sample of the finished product to follow how to build it up. And while other might ask mom that how can I play? Or some kids might just observing how to start, then they will just follow. Or get involved with the group, sitting down, and fully concentrate by alone. So we observe those behaviors to identify that each children's the uniqueness. And for the measurement, if you mentioned, for example, I have the slides of the example here. I'll just share the screen again. For example, this is actually, these are the same type of the drawing by the same kids here. So if you can see the brown color stuff here over, like the stretch arm is about the, we can see from here, the stretch arm is about 3 years old. And here, compared to the brown color and the orange color, that you will see body as a human being. This is a big progress, and this is approximately 1 year of the progress. So those the small changes that we follow. If the customer send us the data on it, our specialist will analyze and give the development status accordingly.
Okay, Mazaki-san. Yes, so maybe just to wrap up with 2 more questions, looking at the time, but important ones nonetheless. So before I address one of our audience's questions, could you tell us if your solutions work both for private education and public schools here in Malaysia? As I understand, you know, obviously the teaching methods are quite different.
Okay. All right, it is definitely appropriate for teachers to create activities that reflect all 8 intelligence. When students show preference towards certain intelligences, these preferences can be used to increase and strengthen the area of dominance, and also enhance those which are less dominant. However, from TOEIC point of view, it is not practical at this given point of time to implement our solution into existing syllabus, because I believe that the syllabus is the identity of the school itself and also the government itself for the long run. Our approach is to focus on individual, to analyze the talent and give appropriate activities. So if the school not implementing into the syllabus, though, if they understand more about their students, they understand about more about the kids, definitely we can help to providing a knowledge on the teachers to collaborate with.
Okay. Yeah, so we have a question. Would TOEIC be looking for collaboration? One of the audience here, Kelvin, he is a school management system provider, which supports many preschools and private education centers. And he sees a lot of potential for his users to benefit from this. So I guess like how Koike-san mentioned just now, the point of this pitch is to seek collaborations. But would you see that school management system providers would be a suitable partner?
Obviously, the biggest biggest objective of the participating of program is looking for the business partner. Not only for the online products, we will open the playground as well. So any kind of the education planner or the education business management that to collaborate further on our the products fit into Malaysia, always welcome.
Okay, all right, that's clear. All right, thank you so much, Mazaki-san, for your time and for your presentation. We'll look forward to make the introductions after the event.
Thank you so much.
All right, so we've got a 4th company, Studis. Studis is a company which main solution is a visual SOP management platform known as Teach Me Biz, which is essentially a B2B cloud service to help digitalize and ease SOP implementations in businesses across multiple industries. So we have their global division regional manager, Yasuharu Katsube-san, to share with us his presentation.
Hi, thank you, Areno-san. Thank you very much for your introduction. Good morning, selamat pagi, ohayo gozaimasu, everyone. Okay. First of all, I'd like to express my sincere appreciation to Sunway Group, Sunway iLabs, and the JETRO Malaysia for this wonderful opportunity, right? Also, I'd like to thank all of the participants today for your time, right? My name is Katsube from Studis Corporation. By the way, I have been living in Malaysia since 2012. So Malaysia is my second home. So I wish I could make the bridge between the companies in Malaysia and in Japan. All right. I'd like to share my slides here. Oops. Can you see my screen?
Yes, if you could put it to full screen.
All right.
Thanks.
Okay. So today I'd like to introduce the visual SOP management platform called Teach Me Biz. Okay. Okay, so Teach Me Biz is a cloud-based platform designed for human resource development and to improve work efficiency. Today, I prepare about 3 minutes video for you to understand what is Teach Me Biz. Okay, I share it with you here.
Manuals for enhancing organizational productivity are unfortunately filled with lots and lots of text. Such detailed manuals are often not used at all, nor are they often revised. The complexity may cause employees to waste time and force them to redo work needlessly. Manuals are often the cause of mistakes that lead to complaints and accidents, and thus lower productivity. Food and beverage, retail, accommodations, logistics, and other industries all face these problems. Teach Me Biz is the solution. Teach Me Biz makes manuals easier to understand by replacing text-filled pages with images and videos. For example, at a supermarket, you can take photos of necessary scenes, such as how to prepare certain foods. The procedures that require a more detailed explanation can be demonstrated using a video. After gathering all of the materials you need, you can then change their order, edit the images, and even add graphics, all with one finger. In this way, you can quickly and easily create a manual consisting of photos and videos that is easy to understand. Not only can you create manuals using smartphones and tablets, but also with personal computers. In addition to store manuals, you can also create office manuals that demonstrate how desk work is done. Even employees who are not proficient at computers can easily create manuals without any special skills. Also, you can publish and share your manuals instantly. By using the task function, you can distribute them to shops and the people in charge all at the same time. In addition, each progress can be tracked at a glance in real time. You can drastically reduce the time and cost needed to check your business's situation by telephone and email through the Teach Me Biz interface. Teach Me Biz is a cloud platform that allows you to create manuals in 1/5 of the time needed and reduces your operation load by half. It can be used in various industries besides supermarkets. Teach Me Biz is more than just a tool for creating manuals. It is an operation management platform that will change the way you run your business. Each year, you can reduce training time by 1,000 hours, reduce claims by 80%, and reduce costs by 20 million yen. You'll be amazed at the possibilities once you start using Teach Me Biz. Already, thousands of companies, regardless of industry, scale, or region, are using Teach Me Biz to solve their management problems. Don't you think it's time to get rid of text-filled manuals once and for all? Get your message across simply. Manual creation and sharing platform. Teach Me Biz.
Okay, thank you very much. All right. So Teach Me Biz is the one-stop solutions, allows you to create, distribute, and operate, and even manage the SOP based on image and videos. All right. So you can create and update SOP from any devices, including computer, tablet, and smartphone. And then once you create the SOP is stored at Amazon Web Services, and you can access from any device at any time and anywhere, as long as you have network. Okay, we have almost 3,000 clients in Japan, regardless of industry, type of business, and the company size. And but the main industry in Japan are the manufacturing and retail, and then the IT sector and the F&B. Okay. In overseas, TeachMeBiz has been used by the clients in Southeast Asia mainly. Okay. In Malaysia, we have a customer such as Sushi King, Secret Recipe, and Asia Yoshino International. And then just recently, one of the manufacturing company signed up for the contract. Yeah. So why we design and develop the TeachMeBiz is because I believe that many of you experience how hassle to create the paper and text-based manual. And even if you create the manuals, right, it is very seldom utilized because it is hassle to keep updating and then sharing, and eventually many people also don't want to read it. It's paper-based manual, right? For example, this is the example of the conventional paper-based manual. As you can see, it is full of text and contains very specific words such as the charm and the F3 key and so on, right? But if you replace with the same manual, if you replace the same manual with TeachMeBiz, it becomes very easy to understand because the SOP is visual based. So we just press these two, go to the next page, click here, and click here, and then click here. So even you don't understand the language, maybe you just follow this step, then you can, yeah, do the recovery. Okay. And then also creating and updating manual through TeachMeBiz is very, very easy. I show you some demo. I just made a video of the short demo. For this demonstration, I use only the image, but of course you can use the video as well. And if you have the video, you can crop the image and then the short videos, right? So the editing is very, very easy. Okay. It's like this. And then after you complete, you just place the publish, then you can notify to everybody. You can distribute to everybody, right? Okay. Oh, by the way, can you see some QR code next to me? If you can scan through your smartphone, you can access to one of our sample SOP, because you can output the QR code from each manuals, right? So please try if you have time. Okay. Okay. So some customers ask, what is the difference between TeachMeBiz and a video manual? Okay, well, unlike a normal video manual, TeachMeBiz has the step structure. So you can refer to the step that you tend to forget quickly. If you use the video, sometimes you don't know, you have to really search where's the step you forgot, right? But TeachMeBiz divide by the structures, divide the step by the structures. Okay. TeachMeBiz can be used in the situation like those shown on these slides. In particular, it is often used for teaching work in the field, like a factory or the store, you know, and then this area is often that the people change or people replace, right? And then also TeachMeBiz is often used for the new staff training, right? To replace the OJT. Okay, I have another video to share. This customer is the secret recipe. I think many of you are familiar with this giant restaurant chain. Okay.
Traditionally, how we actually did all our training is through manuals we use, and these manuals are actually, whenever we wanted to look for something, we have to take it out and slowly open it. It's really hard for the staff to actually look for anything in this manual. Whereas nowadays, with Teach Me Biz, all you have to do is actually look into your app. You actually can just search for the thing, and then it can just come out. So it's a lot faster, a lot easier. Everything is connected to the cloud storage. So I just have to do a click, and then just like that, and then in the store it's already updated. So it's really fast. So with Teach Me Biz, really easy and user friendly for everyone to use. And then all you have to do is just upload. There's not much language barrier because a lot of things are done visually in pictures and videos. So it's easy for them also to understand at the same time. So for franchise, not very different from how we do it with the principal. Normally we try to standardize everything with everyone. All they can do is just to access from the tablet. So training is a lot easier now. And then also it's another cost to us, printing all the paper, all the logistic costs that come with it. This is a lot more friendly for everyone. Yeah, we save the environment at the same time. So 3 things I really love about Teach Me Biz. Number 1, it's very user friendly. Number 2, it's very efficient and cost saving. Number 3, it's accessible for everyone all across the globe. So we believe that when we work together with Teach Me Biz, we are able to grow our company throughout Malaysia as well as the whole world. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Basically, before secret recipe adopting Teach Me Biz, the store managers always gather for the group training, I think annually. And then that incurs very much significant costs for transportation and accommodation. Besides that, the store manager had difficulties in communicating with the foreign staff working at the store. So the Teach Me Biz solved these issues instantly. And then after the paper-based SOP has been replaced with Teach Me Biz, they also cut down a lot of the paper costs as well. Okay. So next, I'd like to share with you our target segments. As I mentioned earlier, the Teach Me Biz is used by various industries, but the majority of clients are labor-intensive, getting involved in the basic operation, not the very complicated operation, but the basic operation, and they're facing the high turnover rate. All right. Okay. The next, I'd like to introduce one of the unique features called training functions. This is recently came out, right? Through these functions, you can create a course that incorporates the SOP that you create, right? The SOP of what your company teaches to the new staff during the initial training or on the job training. Then distribute this course to the new staff. And then this can be used repeatedly for the training new staff, as long as there's no change in the procedure of the SOP. So our company is also the same. When I joined the Studies Corporation, they all prepare this training course. So I went through all the training course, and then I passed the test to become a sales. So I didn't get any on-the-job training when I joined the company. So this can be something that you can consider for your company as well. Right. Okay. So this is the actual screen of the trainee. Right, the trainee can take the course on the PC or smartphone, and then you can check your own progress instantly. Right. So our mission in Malaysia is to contribute to the local companies to streamline the workflow and improve work efficiency. Right. So here's the subscription plans. This is also the subscriptions. We have four plans: starter, basic, and then enterprise, and then the light plan. Initial support fee is 1,000 up to 5,000, but currently we waive this cost for the customers who sign up by end of the April this year. Right. The difference among the plan is the number of editing account and a viewing account. The editing account is the account that create, the edit, and access to the manual, while the viewing account has only access to the manual. Okay, and the starter and a light plan is like simplified the version with the very much limited functions. Okay, so the initial support includes the entire onboarding up to 6 months from the beginning until you smoothly take off, right? So we make sure that your company utilizes TeachMeBiz very, very smoothly, okay? All right, so this is the end of presentation. Thank you for all your time. And if you are interested, please call me or drop me the email. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Katsubi-san, for your presentation. We have some questions, quick ones. First of all, maybe we can understand, does your platform support multilingual languages? So for Malaysia, obviously, we probably, the top 3. Can we just very easily switch?
Basically, for the platform itself, is compatible with English, Japanese, and the Thai, because we have subsidiary office in Thailand. Whereas the manual itself, it depends how you create. If you want to create in your language, you can. Yeah, but
okay.
Yeah.
Would it be something possible for you to put even have your solution in, say, for example, Malay?
In future, yeah, we are currently developing. We plan to develop.
Okay, all right. So yeah, answer is yes, yeah, potentially.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other question was, from your experience working with Malaysian companies across multiple industries, obviously some companies have very clear SOPs in place, some may not have, but do you see, what are some of the main challenges from the client side when implementing your technology to help digitalize SOP management?
Okay, well, people kind of get used to what they do right now. So that the challenging is how to motivate your staff. I mean the staff who create and manage this the SOP management platform, right? But once you create the manuals and then distribute, and then once you operate smoothly, then there is no issues. But at the beginning of the stage, when you adapt the TeachMeBiz, your staff might be a bit reluctant. That's why we support your team to create the manuals, how to use TeachMeBiz, until you can smoothly operate.
Okay, yeah, I think that's very clear, and I think your videos also made it very, easy to understand, and so really good to hear that your team on ground here in Malaysia does provide that hands-on support before the takeoff. You're getting everything in place, creating the manuals, but once it's all digitalized, and I imagine it's a very smooth flight ahead. Okay, so thank you so much, Kazube-san, for your presentation, and we look forward to make the introductions after. Thank you so much to our audience. We have one final company, very exciting one nonetheless, AeroSense. So AeroSense is the last company pitching today, a company which provides industrial automation solution by combining autonomous UAVs with cloud data analysis services. Let's invite our last speaker, Satoru Shimada-san, Director and COO, to share his presentation.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for this precious opportunity. My name is Satoru Shimada. I'm in charge of business development for AeroSense. So let me introduce our company and our products and how we can contribute to your society in Malaysia. We explain industrial automation solutions utilizing drone tech and cloud SaaS platform. So AeroSense has been funded by Sony and ZMP in August 2015 as a joint venture. And Sumitomo Corporation has invested in us a year ago. Since 2015, we have developed 5 different products, starting from AirRobo, which is our drone, and AirRobo Markers, and AirRobo Cloud, and AirRobo Onware, which is a tethered drone, and AirRobo Wing, which is a fleet of fixed-wing type drone. And since 2015, we have increased our revenue at CAGR 136%. So the uniqueness of our kind of position in drone industry is that we not only produce hardware, but also software and cloud services. If you look at the drone industry, many players focus on hardware only, or software only, or cloud services only. But we provide all of them from AirRobo, Markers, Cloud, etc. So in this way, we are able to produce solutions that people on site can easily use to enhance their work efficiency. And these are the kind of overview of our products. So if you use AirRobo, AirRobo Markers and AirRobo Cloud, you can highly automate the drone photogrammetry. And also, if you use AirRobo Markers and AirRobo Cloud, you can produce professional surveying results that would be very easy to use, and it's very efficient. And also, if you use AirRobo Wing, because it's a vertical takeoff and landing fixed type drone, it can cover a much larger area compared to multicopter type drones. Well, for example, just one flight can cover 200 hectares. That is 2 kilometers by 1 kilometers. And then finally, the AirRobo On-Air. This is a tethered drone. Since electricity can be provided through this cable, it can fly as long hours as you like. And through this cable, this drone can be controlled, and 4K real-time video is transmitted through this wire. So you can have a very reliable and very kind of clean 4K real-time video, which is good for live broadcasting, for example. So as a result of these products, basically you can achieve the reduction of time and cost and the initial investments because it's automated, and you don't need a kind of very long hours of training because it's automated on the very high extent. So our products and technology are very versatile and can be used across many industries, like you see on this screen. And our products are already widely used across Japan. So for this presentation, let me introduce AirRobo Survey that solves labor shortage by automation on the construction site, especially for surveying. And if you do drone photogrammetry, it actually requires many kinds of tools, and you have to combine these tools to produce a very accurate 3D models. But here we developed these 3 products, and if you use these 3 products, the workflow can be automated to a large extent. So the kind of selling points of our air survey is that you can achieve the workflow reduction by 70%. But at the same time, you can achieve the high accuracy, which is plus minus 5 centimeter. So this is an example of one construction site. This is a 30-hectare construction site, and it has many high and lows within the same area. So it would take lots of time, energy, and cost if you follow traditional methods. But if you utilize our drones, markers, and cloud, this job and this product output can be achieved within just 1 day with the accuracy of 5 centimeter. Another example from our end of users in Kochi prefectures. As you can see on this slide, they achieved 74% work time reduction using airable markers and the airable clouds. This can be done because airable markers is much easier to use. If you just put it on the ground and push the start button. That's it. That's all you have to do. And then once you upload the data to the airable cloud can automatically process this data and give you the output, and which is much quicker than using a PC with specialized smart software. Another example is agricultural case. Here, it also we can solve labor shortage by automations. And this slide it's explaining how traditional method works. So in traditional method, in order to assess healthiness of the field, very experienced farmers do some sampling survey, just a pinpoint survey. Then they approximate the overall the field healthiness. And then according to that knowledge, they apply fertilizers manually. And these allocations pretty much depends on their experiences. So it's very difficult for newcomers to master this kind of workflow. But in the new method, it's data-based and automated. And you can assess the entire field using drone photogrammetry, especially the payload, the multispectral camera. If you use multispectral camera, you can visualize where the crops are healthy or not in a kind of mathematical way, and that's called NDVI. And the NDVI can be converted to kind of fertilizer mapping data. And once this data is uploaded to the kind of machine, spraying machine, usually GPS guided broadcaster, it can add fertilizers according to this map automatically. So even if you don't have a kind of specialized knowledge or experiences, if you use this kind of new method, agriculture can be done much more efficiently and by much more various people. And the final example is a logistic case. This is a case we have done in Zambia, in Africa, together with JICA, the Japanese International Cooperation Agency. So in this kind of situation, and in Africa, in many countries, the infrastructure is not as highly advanced as the other countries like Japan. So it is difficult, or in some cases, it's not possible to reach some places by car or bikes. But if we use drones, because it can fly from A to B directly, you can reach the unreachable very fast. And this is very crucial if you like to check the specimens, because specimens are kind of vital. And that validity depends on how fast you can deliver these to the clinic. So in this way, we digitally transform various industries with drone tech and the SaaS platform together with our customers in Japan. So from now on, we would like to expand our business to Malaysia and the ASEAN regions. So what we are looking for is first of all a local partner who can sell our products and support our customers locally. We have spoken to Aerodyne or Hepotech, etc., to initiate this local partnership already. And we would also like to have some investors who can provide us with some new capital and overseas network to promote our business abroad. And finally, local innovators or end users who can try and promote our solutions. We are already in the discussion with Sunway Construction to do some pilot projects, and also Sunway Organic Farm to do some pilot projects. Especially our Japanese government will provide some subsidies from April. So I'd like to apply for these subsidies together with Sunway or some other players in Malaysia. And this will be able to be done after COVID-19 emergency. So thank you very much for your attention. Please email me at satoshimara@nss.jp for further collaborations. I'm very much looking forward to working with you in Malaysia in the near future. Thank you very much. And I think I've got 5 different questions, so I'll answer these questions each. The first one is, among the solutions products we have shared, which one of the solution is the main priority to work with in Malaysia? So the first thing is construction and land surveying. We would like to promote the use of air markers in the cloud. And then once we can establish our presence in Malaysia, we would like to also sell our drones after that. So the second question do you think drone deliveries can compete with the current delivery system? Will it be more efficient? Yes, not in every case, but in some cases, like I explained in the Africa example, it definitely works. But it's not because the drone delivery is much quicker, faster, and more efficient. It's only use electricity. It doesn't need fuel. So not all, but in some cases, it works better than traditional car-based logistics. The third question is, what kind of collaboration do you value most with Malaysian enterprises? Basically, we would like to find a local partner, investors, and innovators. Yes, since we have done businesses in Japan, I think we need some kind of customization to each local countries or areas. So if the kind of partner can help us to customize our products, that would be very helpful. Okay, the fourth question is, have you spoken to any Malaysian drone players moment to form strategic collaborations? Yes, we have spoken to some companies, but all of them is still kind of open. So yeah, let's have a discussion after this. The final question, the fifth one, are you looking to access the state and federal governments through the appointment to a local reseller? Yes, drone industry is a kind of regulation industry to some extent. So we also like to have some good relationship with the governments locally. So if the partner can help us to foster that kind of good relationship, that would be very helpful.
AeroSense was our last company pitching here today. I just want to thank you once again to every one of our companies and presenters, to our partner JETRO Kuala Lumpur, and also to all who have joined us here dialing in via Zoom and also our social media live. So this event is recorded. We will fix the recording before we share with you the link. And presentation decks are also all available for sharing. But most of all, we want to be able to make very meaningful introductions between you and the companies, even if you have a question or if you're exploring a potential pilot, if you're interested to see how companies here could apply for the grant that Matt was sharing earlier in order to do a pilot with you. It is a very, very attractive grant provided by JETRO. So it's definitely something that you would want to consider. We'd love to make the introductions. I will leave my email address here to everyone so that you can send me your emails and we will make the introduction. All right, so thank you once again for all our participants, our speakers. Have a wonderful day and look forward to see you soon.